I'm making this video for a couple of reasons. One of the main reasons is because some characters, some shady characters, have made some videos about me saying Bulldog Mindset is exposed simping. That brings to light an important question, which is, am I simping? Is it simpery to act a certain way towards a woman in a relationship? What does it mean to simp? Guys, if you're just joining me for the first time, I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man, how to build financial independence, how to get the physique you want, how to get the girls you want, and how to go from the victim mindset to the Bulldog Mindset. Click the subscribe button down below to join us on this quest. And also, if you haven't already taken the Bulldog quiz, take it up here. 10 questions will tell you if you're a Bulldog or what your Bulldog score is. All right, so simping. Oh, gosh, it's so confusing, I think, to a lot of guys. They think that any kind of attention or validation that you show a woman is simping. Completely untrue. Mr. Locario, if you don't know him, he's a great guy, by the way. Awesome channel. One of the few guys in this whole kind of like in the space of teaching men, especially dating, that I completely trust his advice, because he's right on. He's just a genuine good guy. So if you haven't subscribed to his channel, I would suggest it. But anyway, he would back me up on this in the sense, and we've had some live streams where we've talked about this, about the idea that, if you think that not showing girl validation is correct, you're wrong. Like, you have to show a girl validation at some point. In fact, it's just dumb to not, right? You should validate the people that deserve it, that mean something to you in your life. That's just being a good, genuine person, is to treat people right, to compliment people. Okay, now here's where the simping thing comes into play. It's why you're doing what you do. And I don't know how many times I say this on this channel, but it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's why you do it. That's what matters, right? Because people ask me all the time, oh, is this alpha? Is it alpha to be like this? And my answer is, if you're asking the question, no, it's not alpha, because you're trying to achieve a result. You're doing something not because it is flowing from who you are and what your intentions are, but you're doing it because you're trying to get something, or you're trying to get validation from someone, or get their approval, or avoid their disapproval. And that's not why you do things as a man. Simping is essentially the opposite. Simping is actually doing things for that purpose, right? So when you see a hot girl's picture on Instagram and it's okay to like it, I suppose, right? That's fine. Okay. Some people could say it's simping. I guess it depends on why, but when you put a comment there that's like, oh, you're so hot, heart, or whatever, or something like that, in most cases, I won't say in all cases, okay, but in most cases, that's simping. Why? Because you're trying to, you're giving her validation. Why? Not because she's earned it, not because she has shown you any kind of kindness or anything like that, but because you want something from her. You want her to recognize you. You want her to, you want to have that thing, and you are worshiping that thing at the cost of your own integrity, right? And that's the key thing, is simping is all about sacrificing your integrity in order to try and get something, or because you want that validation back, right? And so this applies to just random girls, right? If you are one of those guys that goes up and does all these favors, right? This is what we call a nice guy, right? Why is a nice guy simp? Because he does all these things for women that don't deserve it, right? He goes and drives them places, buys them things, does all these things, trying to get them to love him, essentially, to give him validation. And that is simping, right? On the same hand, you can still do those things. You can be a guy that does things for women, that treats them well, but those women should be women that are giving you the time of day, that are paying attention to you, that are giving you back the validation, or treating you with respect, or treating you, in such a way that they're not taking advantage of what you're doing. They're really, truly appreciative of it. And a person that is truly appreciative of kindness that you're showing them will respond in kind. Okay, that's the key. And so when we talk about simping, it's a matter of sacrificing your integrity in order to get something, right? The same we could apply to if you're in a relationship, right? For instance, is braiding your girl's friend's hair simping? No. If you're having a good time and you're doing that for fun, That's not simping. Okay, I'm sorry that it disappoints some of you guys because you want to believe that you just need to be this strong, masculine, alpha frame guy all the time. That's not even a thing. That's not what it is to be, quote, alpha. To be alpha is to do what you want and not care what other people think about it. All right, whatever that is. Right now, there's some other characteristics that play into that, or some general characteristics that will emerge from that level of thinking. But you can't look at a particular activity and say, oh, that's alpha or that's not. It all depends on you. It depends on why you're doing something and how you're doing it. And so when we go back to the relationship and we look at, okay, what is simping in a relationship? It's letting a woman walk all over you. She's not paying you respect. She's not showing you a level of admiration and appreciation that you deserve. She's not treating you the way that you want. So you're trying to get her to treat you the way that you want, or to show you some kind of validation, or to not leave you. And you're doing that by pleasing, doing pleasing behavior. A really good book on this, I've had him on the channel, is Dr. Robert Glover's book, No More Mr. Nice Guy. I'll put a link down below or in the cards so you can check that out. All right. And he talks about a lot of this stuff. He's got a really good read on this. I would recommend that you read this book. But that is essentially what it is to simp. Now, can you be in a relationship with a woman and treat her like a princess? I hope that you can. I hope that all of you that are watching this channel, okay, hopefully in your 30s or later, all right? Because I think when you're too young, I've made videos on this, that you shouldn't get into long-term relationships as a man for a lot of reasons. We're not going to go into it. If you want more details on why you shouldn't, I have a whole video on this in the Bulldog Mindset membership. It's $7 for the first month. Go check out the link down below. You might as well sign up for a month and check it out. We have a huge community of men, talk about all kinds of topics, from building a business and making money, becoming financially independent, to building the best physique that you can ever get in your life, that you've ever achieved, to getting a woman, to relationships, dating, if you're into just game and learning that stuff, all of that stuff. It's all legit stuff. It's not, there's no bullshit artistry or anything like that. It's all legit personal experience stuff. Everything that I've done myself to get to where I am in life, it's basically my playbook of bad beats. So anyway, check it out. $7 for the first month. All right. So what I'm saying is that, in a relationship, I hope that all of you get a girl at some point where you can treat her like a princess. All right. I don't say queen. Notice that. I say princess. She should treat you like a king. You should treat her like a princess. That's the dynamic. And why? And what does that entail? That means that she is so sweet to you. She's so appreciative of you. She doesn't take you for granted. And she has a high enough desire for you that you can show her a very high degree of kindness and do things for her and treat her very, very well, so that she knows that she's spoiled, so that she knows that she is well taken care of. Again, some guys will immediately equate this to simping. And that is not the case. It all depends on how is she responding and how is she treating you. You could do these behaviors. If you're treating a girl that doesn't deserve to be treated like a princess, like when you're simping, okay, that is what it comes down to. That's a sacrifice of your integrity. But if you find a woman who treats you well, who respects you, who gives herself to you and entrusts you with herself and doesn't take you for granted and is very appreciative to you, you should treat her extremely well, right? And you should be there for her and be able to be a man in that relationship. Again, I've got a video in the Bulldog Mindset membership talking about being a masculine man in a relationship and some of the really important stuff. Like, so many of you guys screw this up because you either let her run all over you, or you don't understand that women are emotional and that they need to vent. And if you don't allow a woman to vent, again, she has to do it in the appropriate way, and you have to make some boundaries there, that you are going to be crushing her and she's not ever going to open fully to you. This is really important for you guys to understand. I know some of you are like, oh, John, this doesn't sound like very alpha Bulldog Mindset content. Well, You're wrong. You're wrong. All I can say about this is I've been through a lot of experiences in life, and I've learned a lot of lessons the hard way in life. And I'm trying to save you guys from learning lessons the hard way and teach you what it is to be a real man. Okay. Not just a man that guys are like, oh, this guy's such a Chad. Not that kind of man. Not just a man that gets laid a lot, although, the things I'm telling you will help you to get laid a lot if you desire, but a man that people actually respect and want to be around and want to be like. Okay. Not just, you see, the difference between being a fraud and being a real man, let's say, is that a fraud is essentially someone who people don't want to be like, but they want to have what you have. If people want to have what you have, but they don't want to be you, you're a fraud. That's what it comes down to, because you're not worthy. You're not a man of high character, of principles. All right. If you're a person that people want to be, they want to be like, because they want to emulate the kind of character that you have, the kind of attributes you have, not just what you have. They're not just jealous of you. They want to actually emulate you. Then you're a real man. And that's the kind of men that I am trying to bring up in this society that sorely needs strong men. There's been a backlash. There's been a change. It's kind of good. It's kind of bad. And I'm trying to mediate this right now, because what I've seen is I've seen a whole culture of, quote, blue-pilled men, of feminist men that have bought into the whole the third wave feminist machine and the fairy tale Disney princess storyline, and they've been crushed. And then came some brave souls who discovered this whole thing that was going on and rekindled what it is to be a man. Because way back in the day, men just knew how to be men, because you just had to be a man, because your father taught you how to be a man, and life was so hard and society was so cruel that if you were weak, you died off. You didn't survive. But there became some men recently that have brought us back, that have said, this is the way, let's be a real man. And unfortunately, it's gone too far. It's gone so far in the direction of being like, this is what it is to be this man who doesn't take shit, that these men have become men that are not good men, that are not men that you would actually want to emulate. Now, sure, they're not going to get taken advantage of. It's true. And that's a good thing. But at the same time, they're not really men that you want to be like. They're not really men that you respect, that you look up to. And then you say, yeah, that guy's a guy of character. Instead, you're like, I don't know. I mean, I guess this guy's good. I guess he's the best. I guess he's getting laid. I guess women like him. I guess women like that kind of a guy. I don't really like that, but I guess I have to kind of be that kind of a guy, because that's what women like. And, that it kind of sucks. I guess I can't be the kind of guy that I would want to be. I guess you can't be a nice guy, right? This is the kind of thinking. And again, I'm not saying be a nice guy. I'm saying be a kind, compassionate, respectable man of character, and that brings value to people in their life. That's what I'm trying to teach you guys. Again, Bulldog Mindset membership. That's the goal, the mission of this channel. And so, yeah, you know what? I don't care if people call you a simp, then you shouldn't either. You know whether you're a simp or not. You know whether or not you're operating in integrity, or you're sacrificing that integrity in order to gain validation. And that's what it is to be a simp.